What is going on, everybody? Today, we're going to hook you guys up with a top secret NFT analytics tool. When I say we, I'm talking about me and that random dude. Did I point in the right direction? Yeah, that dude over there. Me and that guy. We're going to get into it and check out this NFT analytics tool. What is up?
Mate, it's not that top secret. They've got almost 30,000 followers on their Twitter. So,
don't tell
but
it's a secret.
you're still early. Don't worry. Let's have a look. What are we talking about? We're talking about coniun. And if you're an Aussie, that's a familiar word to you.
Coniun. Yeah, coniun.
You coniuns. So it's interesting. It's a NFT analytics platform, but I'm going to get your attention straight away. The company actually has a lot of history, the company behind it. So the company behind it is Dericon. Dericon is actually an analytics company. They've already been working with partners, and you can see like Shopify, Everbread, Squarespace, and some really big names. So they're actually trusted by quite a few big companies. In their Discord, if you go there's a lot of great information, talks about their team and the company itself, and it links you to their LinkedIn. So these guys are fully doxed. There's 15 or 16 different team members that are listed in Discord as well. So this is hitting the box to be a really big hot item.
It's one of those things like it is, but you know me, I'm like utility, like it's cool, but what are the features? Like, what can I do? Why should I buy this thing over stuff that I'm already using? So what sets it apart? That's my main question I have about everything.
Yeah. They're really smart in the way they're doing it, and there's a lot of free features that you can get and use currently as well. So you have like a discover, so we look at the sales in the last 24 hours. You can go volume, total volume, floor price as well. The trending, which will look at the trending in the last hour. You can change the intervals as well. And this is the thing. So we'll talk about, there's an NFT pass that they're coming out with. And a few of the things is like in the NFT pass, you might get more time filters. So you might get 15 minutes. I do have that stuff over to my right, but you'll get different time intervals as well. Or you might be restricted to certain time intervals is what I'm trying to say.
The other thing I wonder about as well, like, cause I know like Trade Sniper does it when they have a rarity ranking tool, which is on like their roadmap. I got a feeling they'll probably do that same thing where it's like, it's free, but it's delayed. I would assume that would be, you know. Well,
in the free users, it says that you get the rarity ranking only, but in the project holders or the coniun pass holders, you get real-time rarity rank price, no real-time price in the first 30 minutes after the reveal. Whereas like the main one, it looks like you get everything in the coniun pass. So
makes sense.
And I think we'll go through the features before you start asking too many questions. But you've got your trending, you've got the new mints, and this is really interesting. Something we just talked about before is like the suspicious mints, and they're things that have done potentially by a bot or failed transactions as well. So they've got the floor price, the MTI, so Mint Trust Index, which talks about how many of those failed or suspicious mints in their project.
Can I interrupt you and argue a point right now though about suspicious mints? Like just because a bot did it doesn't quote unquote make it suspicious, because people use things like Genie and Cyber Baby. It's not. It's interesting that it would say suspicious. That's kind of like how people get an edge by using those things. Like, let us know in the comments how you feel about bots and things like that to give you an edge. And is it suspicious if a bot is actually buying something? I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch to say suspicious, and I don't know if it's a huge indicator of anything by having that there, personally.
I'd be curious to get the team's perspective about how they've done that calculation. Like, obviously there's a very smart team behind this, so I'm sure it's not a willy-nilly number that they're just pulling out of their head and going, oh, they use this website which we don't trust. Like, I'm sure there's a bit more to it. But yeah, interesting. Like, we look at this project at the top here, 3,648 mints, 3,234 holders. So that's actually a good holder distribution. So that project there looks quite interesting, but we're not here to talk about that. Up and coming projects, and this is really interesting. I love this sort of stuff, and I used to do this all manually, but now they go over, they've got a featured one. We'll skip past that for now. They've got a release date, Discord
like
members, online,
Oh.
online Discord members, Twitter followers, daily tweets, weekly tweets, which is great to see they're active. And the other great thing is you can actually filter down by these things. So are they tweeting regularly? When's the release date? Are they live right now? You can go over those sort of things. So I think that's really great to see a tool that can help you find what your niche is or what your market is as well. So this is linked directly to your Twitter feed. So you can actually see if the person has their OpenSea linked to their Twitter, I can see what they're buying. This is an OpenSea software engineer, by the way. You can basically see how Kevin Punks. Oh no. You can see the people that you're following on Twitter, and if you follow some accounts that you think are high profile NFT accounts, you can kind of see what they're buying.
it's super important because I don't know if you guys know about the tool called nansen.ai, but it is a huge analytics tool that has stuff like this that allows you to track wallets. But I think the UI and everything isn't laid out as clean and easy as coniun, whatever it's called. It's laid out as clean as this for you to actually see it. So I like that they're kind of aggregating a bunch of different tools and sticking it into one. The only other thing that I haven't seen in here, and correct me if I'm wrong, that I hadn't, is like charts and things like that as well, where you can actually see like the trends and the trading volume and stuff as well. That's something I hadn't seen.
Upcoming features, and we'll talk about those now, is historical price charts. So you'll probably see that. Historical holder charts, real-time rarity rankings, sellers reports, smart alarms, which is kind of cool, whitelist spots for upcoming projects, and hot and cold wallet merge for portfolio values, which is handy for people that store stuff off online. So as we mentioned before, there is a pass that you can get to access all these features plus more, which is, there's a few different utilities they talk about, whether it be, there's a C box where you get certain rewards from, whether it be access to whitelists or NFTs that the community decides to be shared amongst everyone. You'll be whitelisted for the upcoming 3D avatar project. So they've actually got a bit of a kind of setup for going forward to make sure they can keep this momentum going as well. The supply is 6,555. Which is an interesting number. It's pre-sales on March 10th, public sale March 11th. Mint price is 0.2 for pre-sale, where you can mint one item, 0.3 for public sale. But you can see on the website that, and this is how a lot of smarter projects, I'll call it, do it. So if you hold or spent a certain amount within a certain period, you are eligible to get the whitelist. That is now finished, so you can't actually do that anymore because I couldn't get it, and I've spent 5 million in the last week or two, so weird. No,
I just think it's super cool with these projects. And once again, I always like to talk about price points on things, but I feel like 0.2 and 0.5 is fine when it comes to price point, because when you look at tools like this, if you use it the way that it's intended to be used, you can make that money back and then some with one trade. So I'm kind of not that picky when it comes to mint prices on actual tools that have utility. You would expect that from me being a utility guy. I love that all the utility around this.
Yeah. And the thing is 0.2 for whitelist, or public pre-sale, 0.3 for public sales. So not a big discrepancy. I think a lot of people are worried if there is a price difference, the floor will drop down as well. So if you were to buy this one, would you try get public sale, or do you wait for the pre-sale to mint and then try get one in between the prices?
Here's the thing, with PFP projects and stuff, I don't really like to mint stuff. I just kind of wait and see what happens with the price. I might feel the same way about this because I don't feel like it's gonna be crazy demand when it comes down to it. So I probably wouldn't even bother to mint one personally, but that's just my thesis on it, because I understand it. Every time something mints, it's like a post-mint drop anyway. So I'm not really too fussed about minting things and worried about them selling out or anything. So that's my thought on it. I don't mint much of anything anymore. Yeah.
And we've talked about other tools before, and the link will be up here somewhere for one of the tools that we talked about previously. But you can generally you can find all these different things online, whether it be free or from another resource. But this is the all-in-one sort of package, and it's joining with an NFT a 3D avatar that you can get in the future and stuff like that. So I think they're trying to amalgamate everything that kind of makes a project successful. So I think it's got potential to do really well.
And that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see a lot of projects kind of blending stuff together. There's so many tools coming out, and I think I'm pretty agnostic when it comes to them. I really don't care what tool it is. I think it's great because it's different price points, right? I mean, earlier on when you look at a Alpha Pass, you're 1, 2, 3, 10 ETH. It gets crazy. Whereas you can just be I only want that pass so I can have access to tools and resources like this. So this is me personally speaking. I feel like sometimes it's more valuable just to have tools that you like, or a tool that you like, as opposed to having a bunch of alpha passes that you may not get the full uses out of and participate in the community because you don't care. You only care about the alpha part of the pass itself. If you guys like this video, click the link above to check out some more tools that are gonna help you in your NFT trading and flipping journey. Peace.